couple people to give him introductions tonight. We're going to start with little Bobby's introduction. And then we've also done some research, and one of the researchers that we enlisted is going to come give a little introduction as well. So, little Bob, you want to give Kelly an introduction real quick here?
I've known Kelly ever since my hair was halfway down my back. And that's the truth, isn't it? And now Kelly lives in Wisconsin, the self-described poet laureate of Osceola. And he moved to Wisconsin to give Ed Gein a run for his money. And you should see his shed as well as his kitchen, which has never been cleaned.
The researcher is on his way up to the stage. Kelly's a bit of an enigma. He doesn't really share much. So we thought we would do some research into who he really was. And here to read that is, I don't know, they're going by some alias. But it doesn't really matter who they are. So they're going to read this now.
I'm just an anonymous private investigator. Hear ye, hear ye. By royal Bosso decree, this month's special guest is the man perhaps better known to you as the lead tuba player in the all-horn punk band Brass Balls and the Cold Monkeys. His latest book is titled, well, we're not sure, as his publication rate is like a gunfighter's draw. He's that fast with a pen, ladies and gentlemen. Inventor and patent holder of many of your favorite cuss words. He gets a shiny dime every time you say cock knocker. Tonight's reader is a bright, rude, shining star of Osceola, Wisconsin. He left his cats in good hands tonight to join us. Here's an old school poetry pimp all the way from the river. Please welcome tonight's special guest, Kelly Green. Yes?
Claire, Bob's guitar is not on. There it is. Yay. How about Tom's?
There we go.
So we're going to do the abandoned detour? Okay, so I don't know if we've ever done this before. It's an old poem of mine called Abandoned Detour, and this is what these guys did with it. What do we got, like a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Abandoned Detour. Should I do it? Okay. Here we go. What could be worse than boredom on a bus heading for the town that you grew up in? You want to hover outside and coax it to kindly get its ass in gear and stop pandering to the gray weather with an acquiescent 55-mile-per-hour plod. Armadillos on crutches can move faster than this, you think? As the mileage signs gang up to tease you. like the first day of school, and you with a fresh, ridiculous haircut. You almost get off in the nearest town just for spite, even though its population is 800 and no friends live there. I'm sure I can find something to do here, you say, and at least I'll be off this rolling corpse. There is a danger of never being heard from in every small town. But today, you don't feel dangerous. Requests. Yay. Check, check, check. All right, this is a 53-year-old song written by Loudon Wainwright III called Lullaby. Shut up and go to bed. Put the pillow under your head. I'm sick and tired of all of your worries. Shut up and say goodnight. Say your prayers and turn out the light. I'm sick and tired of all of your sob stories. Shut up and shut your eyes. No more histrionics, no more college tries. Stop pushing, stop shoving, stop straining. Shut your mouth and button your lip. You're a late night faucet that's gotta drip. All you're doing is merely complaining. The excuse that you're crazy is useless. You're not biting, you're barking. You're toothless and you're ruthless. Shut up and count some sheep. Do me a favor, don't bitch in your sleep. No more agony, please, no more sorrow. Shut up and catch some Z's. Ice cream with a cherry plus a big pretty please. I promise we'll resume tomorrow. Good night. Thank you. Bobby E. and Top Cravens. What is that? What the fuck is that? It's a payola envelope. So I got some poems too. Can you hear this mic that well? Okay. Cock knocker? All right, in the spirit of that, this is called Imminent. Hydrangeas scream for head. Push your face in now. Wet and fragrant begins the day. Haycorns are dropping, as Eeyore would say. They bounce through the park on whispered air, every bit alive as bird and squirrel. Purple clouds in orange panties coming all over the dawn. Fat baby head sun about to rise. Just a little sun up poem. Cock knocker. Okay, so I have to do a little death business, but I promise we'll come out on the other side. I don't know why it only hits me now, but I'm eating a sandwich in a room while across the hall she is literally starving to death. All I can feed her is liquid oxy and bites of water from a sponge at the end of a cardboard stick. And for just a little while, I'm the biggest creep in the universe. And I want to iron my head into the carpet like a wrinkled shirt. Your eyes suddenly ignored the world. Didn't need to close. Speech long stolen, the last two movements of your lips told me you were gone. Lips I'd kissed for a quarter century. Our most magical bridge that never tired of carrying words to our ever-hungry ears. No one will ever engage me without end again. I wouldn't ask anyone for that gift only you could give to me. This is called homeschool. Imagine all the classrooms of the world at night. Millions of rooms, billions of chairs, empty. Look out windows into dark, a streetlight here or there. This is where I take instruction. Only 2 classes, both so important. Introduction to morning and unshared space. The homework, unbelievable. Mountains of study guides and workbooks. But I don't have to take them anywhere because I'm already home. School is home. Can you imagine a child waking up from a worse nightmare? It would take all the arms of the world wrapped around to comfort such a frightened one. All the ice cream cows could make. Every possible toy and seasons of planned vacations might do the trick, with continents of love for backup. Okay, this one's called The Only One of Yours to Fit My Buried Knuckle Fingers. Lake Superior Blackstone wrapped in sterling. One piece of jewelry I haven't broken or lost. Fits a little crookedly, like me, into the universe. Summoned off into my own left hand when you dance the map inside my soul, I kiss the ring in memory, kiss the ring to steer, kiss the ring for company, kiss the ring to obey, kiss the ring to converse, kiss the ring for good luck, kiss the ring in homage. Thanks. Okay, this is called summer school. It says a lot about a person when the social high point of the month he is living in is a scheduled colonoscopy. See? Compare that to the wild turkey displaying in the cornfield to a group of possibly interested females. Even when they leave him, he goofily continues his dance for days. Only one of these two males needs to work on his social skills, and it isn't the turkey. Okay, this is a little one for my neighbors, Dave and Lola. This is called The Redeemer and His Sidekick. All scared this morning. The democracy of turning fascist, the retired of going homeless, and the deer spooked by a railroad walker. All saved by an old dairy farmer with his blind and deaf dog, cheering up a passerby with a wagging tail, head rubbing in, and 5 distinct words. They got a reckoning coming. You know, I might have that here. You should know it by heart. I should. All right, I'll finish with a request. I think it's here. Give us a little history. It's all in the poem, Bob. I don't need to explain it. All I have to do is find it. Oh, I found Doris Takes Out the Trash in case I found. I'm going to do Doris Takes Out the Trash, Bob. I'll do both of them. All right. Okay, this is called Doris Takes Out the Trash. Yeah, I said that. Doris hadn't planned it that way. It was just that Roy looked so helpless, finally. She'd seen him passed out drunk before. Shirt open, belly disgustingly sexual, rude polyester pants she'd bought for him on every birthday for 20 years, zipped down, one manly paw inside, gold neck chain one of his waitress fucks from the country club had given him that he'd told Doris about in the middle of sex on their anniversary. The linoleum knife just happened to be there, because her brother had been working on the new tile in the kitchen and had set it down to move the gigantic freezer that Roy kept all the chopped up busboys in from the country club. And it might not have made Doris slice quickly and deeply around Roy's throat, except for the fact that she'd never really been anything but Roy's wife. And that didn't seem enough for her anymore. Not be here, Bob. I got uncensorable filth. Uncensorable filth. Oh, shoot. I got him here, but I'm not using him, am I? I don't think it's here, Bob. Why did you ask for this one? There it is. I found it. Frances pees on my head. Her toilet located with embarrassing precision above my reading position on the couch right next to the bed. This is one of those apartments missing one limb or another, and the only place I can escape her is my own bathroom. In her 80s, self-sufficient and regular, she's lived up there for 40 years. 40 years of urine-disturbed tenants down here. Sharp and clear as the dinner bell, forceful as a standing man, I'm deep in Wendell Berry as the Chinese water torture begins. Hard to keep your mind on the romance of human and earth when nature calls. I suppose I could rearrange the furniture, but that would put the couch in the kitchen and the futon in the bathtub. She's stubborn enough to outlive me anyway. Thank you. Thanks for all your indulgence.
Kelly Green, everybody. Kelly Green. I'm going to read a quick piece, and then we're going to have our next guest up. I remember the coyotes pulling at my clothes and poking me with their noses and nipping at me, their teeth sharp and real, as if to check if I was alive or to calm their fear of me. I was barely 3 at the time and soaking wet and exhausted, but I remember it well. I had strolled off from home and kept walking. Somehow no one saw me go or in what direction. I remember feeling powerful and fast. I also remember falling into a small river and nearly drowning, but somehow I managed to climb onto the bank and climb up the slippery slope, and one of the coyotes had wings. And it would lick my face, and this reminded me of my mother and how sometimes she washed me with a rough, worn cloth soaked in warm water. And the coyote's wings were never completely still. And they had giant feathers that looked as strong as metal, but as porous as smoke. And this coyote would disappear whenever it wanted. And when it vanished, the others whined, moaned, and howled, and they would disappear. But the howling continued as if they were there, standing next to me, which they were, which is impossible. I remember knowing this and how it felt to have the impossible move into my throat and begin to make a nest somewhere near my heart. And I would jump upon their visible backs, and they didn't care. And when they howled and were invisible, this also affected me physically. And I became nearly weightless. And at times I understood things and knew by touch what to eat and drink and what not to, what was poison or too rotten. And at times when they howled, I would slowly sink into the ground like I was water and talk to the water and hear ants breathing like Morse code. Of course, the police were called and a search was on, but somehow they didn't find me. Not for 20 days. Thank you. So next up, we have a Bosso regular here. Terry, how to describe Terry? He's got sort of a dada, absurdist, keen observational wit. I don't know. Is that apropos? Does that make sense to people? I mean, I could go on about chairs but here he comes. Terry Foltz, everybody.
Kind of a fancy description, basically bullshit artist. Let's hear it for Kelly Green. Yeah. Yeah. Let's hear it for Ed Gein. You know, just kind of an overall Wisconsin shout out. I was born and raised in Wisconsin. I admit it. So I've got a few poems here. I'll start with this one. 1. I text to my buddy, hey, what are you up to? I'm at Muddy Waters reading Hemingway and getting drunk, which I have to do because I'm reading Hemingway. and I like booze. Some things just are and require no analysis. It began to rain on the patio, so I brought my book bag, drinks, and plate of Brussels sprouts. Really quite good. Roasted, tender, and crisp, paired with lemon tofu and seasoned well, inside. Occupied with Hemingway, buzz getting heavy, I switched to the New York crossword, New York Times crossword, then returned to the novel. Guy Fieri is on television with his food show, interviewing chefs. Damn, that food looks good. I'm sitting pretty good right here. $4 Jim Beams all day, every day in the month of September. You'll know where to find me. I wonder what the weather's doing outside. I like the patio, and it's too noisy in here. 2, it's no longer summer, and it's not fall. It doesn't matter what you call it. The beauty and the pain, it's all still there. We see it and forget it. Psychopoet, what's your name? What's your name? Are you the same? Burning leaves and thrust perpetual, ache of sense, boredom, relieved, relived, and conceived. I before E, I see. The dead can dance, but they're sloppy in their vocal restraints. Put your gloves on. You want to lose your fingers? You got the thing you know and do. You, I know you. Come over here. Get over here, you. Get on over here, you. In the upscale donut shop, crumbles and sprinkles all over the table. No place to put my book, but the punk music they're playing is good. I have a new one here on loose leaf I could read, I suppose. Okay, since he said please, I will. There is no wiggle room. You are dead without a vote of confidence or a platform. Alarm clock shrieks. The dream was sharp and clear, except for the parts that were not. Neck is stiff and skull aches, and I cannot sleep the night without going. There are things I can no longer eat or drink or abide by. They are killing the country. It's all blogs and AI. The food in my fridge is a rotting mess. I should maybe defrost or deprogram. Walk away from notions of God and a house and a pension. I pick up the scratch paper, try to write, and cannot write a thing. Okay, so luckily I did not lose my place. I can probably do one more. I'll do one more. One. It's all a lie. It's all a lie. There you have it. It's all good. A lie painted bold and beautiful, alive, encrusted cake squirrel wide up upon a God-given sky. God and Michelangelo with their symphonies, wide saluting banners, red, white, and blue, cheese and macaroni tuna, and squint like Popeye grins, manic depression, and an apple pie with ice cream. 2, a screaming wire the color of a rainbow. It's all gone dead and black eye vacant, angry and loud with pages full of rhythm and therefore meaning. We are the sons and daughters of a beautiful disaster.
Terry Foltz, everybody. Sons and daughters of a beautiful disaster. I hate to think that he's talking about Bosso, but I think he could possibly be referring to us. Yeah, how much would you sell that line to Bosso for, Terry? We'll put it on a T-shirt. That's right. Next up, we have a longtime Bosso regular. Venus, who's been part of Bosso since 2000 or so, even before that, possibly from basically when we began doing shows, be it in coffee houses or at the Cedar, or we were at Dusty's Bar for a long time over here in Northeast too. So we're very happy to be here at the 331 now with amazing sound people such as Claire. We used to have to bring our own sound system to Dusty's. It was, and various people would bring different types of sound systems. So sometimes someone would bring, it did. Well, we would have people that would bring these insanely huge sound systems now and again, and it'd just be like a stack. And if you've ever been in Dusty's, you know that it really needs like just these two little things, little speakers. Otherwise, you're going to blow everybody out of the bar. But it was always an interesting night, and a lot of memories in that bar. But it's good to be here, starting out again. Well, I shouldn't say starting out. We've been here now for almost 3 years, right? Yeah. So, and I can just keep on talking, but I don't know how much people really want me to do that. I think Venus is almost ready. I can feel it. No, I got more. Oh no, I had a couple Pilsners. I'm a little loose. I do stay away from the IPAs. Those make me a little delirious these days. Venus to Mars, everybody.
Pushing through the market square, so many mothers trying. News had just come over. We've got 5 years left. News guy wept when he told us Earth is really dying. Cried so much his face was wet, then I knew he was not lying.
I heard telephone, opera house, baby melody. I saw boys, toys, electric cars and TVs. My head hurt like a warehouse. I had no more room to spare. I had to cram so many things to get everything in there. And all the fat, skinny people, and all the tall, short people, and all the nobody people, and all the somebody people. I never thought I'd need so many people. Girl my age went off her head, hit some tiny children. If Jack hadn't pulled her off, I think she would have killed them. Soldier with a broken arm fixed his stare to the wheels of a Cadillac. A cop knelt and kissed the feet of a priest, and a queer threw up at the sight of that. I think I saw you at an ice cream parlor drinking milkshakes, cold and long, smiling and waving, looking so strong. I don't think you knew you were in this song. And it was cold and it rained and I felt like an actor. I thought of more and I wanted to get back to your face, your race, the way that you talk. I kiss you, you're beautiful. I want you to walk. We got 5 years stuck on my eyes. 5 years, what a surprise. 5 years, my brain hurts a lot. 5 years, that's all we got. Lord, It's all about visibility, isn't it? Being out there and nobody wants you to be. Take my hand, take my shoulder. I understand. I can hold you. I know you can. You're something bolder. There is no plan, and it's getting colder. Oh, my brother, see my sister. There are no others. There is no difference. I could be you. You could be me. We struggle onwards and desperately. There's too much fear. There's too much hardness. There's too much here. It's never farthest. Stop your hate. Stop your gun. Stop your fighting. We are one. Hold me, sister, hold me. Hold me, brother, hold me. Hold me, father, hold me. Hold me, mother, hold me. Hold me, sister, hold me. Hold me, brother, hold me. Hold me, father, hold me. Hold me, mother, hold me. Hold me, sister, hold me. Hold me, brother, hold me. Hold me, father, hold me. Hold me, mother, hold me. Hold me, sister, hold me. Hold me, brother, hold me. Hold me, father, hold me. Hold me, mother. Carry me. I'll carry you. We could be stronger. We could be true. Make me wise. Make me breathe. Make me feel you. Make me grieve. All right, one more then. My dream isn't so strange, doesn't take change that you can't manage in your despair. Even right there, your damage. We are here, every last one, never will run. Even so, we know fear, taken in pain, but never in vain. We are free, free as the sky, never so high. We are free, free as the stars, even with scars. We are my dream isn't so hard. Let down your guard, look around. My dream could be sublime. Let's all be kind. My dream isn't so strange, doesn't take change that you can't manage in your despair. Even right there, your damage. We are here, every last one, never will run. Even so, we know fear, taken in pain, and never in vain. We are free, free as the sky, never so high. We are free, free as the stars, even with scars. We are breaking past your political thinking fast. I won't be taken in by tyrannical. I can fly free, free as the sky, never so high. We are free, free as the stars, even with scars. We are free, free as the sky, never so high. We are free, free as the stars, even with scars. We are my dream isn't so hard. Let down your guard. Be a friend.
Venus to Mars, everybody. Those boots were tall. I had to move this mic down. That was beautiful. Thank you, Venus. So, bring it on. So next up, we have the researcher who did the research into Kelly Grain. Very thorough research. otherwise known as the, well, I'm not really sure how to describe this individual. He's mad that we haven't paid him yet for his research, so you might feel the vitriol in the set. But he's on his way up. Please welcome Chris Jones, everybody.
Oh, thank you. I want to start off by apologizing. This is the first time I've ever been on this stage without a beard, and I feel criminally underdressed to do a poetry reading. So I'm going to start out. This is a poem from my son, Pharaoh. He can't be here tonight because he is young, and this is a bar. But I'll make him watch the live feed tomorrow. This is called Monstro Mio. Here there be monsters. Oh, and I should preface this by saying Pharaoh is just starting to be a senior in high school, and we'll be leaving for college another year, and I'm having a really hard time with it. So I think a lot about him being a baby, and this poem came out of it. Monstro Mio. My monster, in Italian, is what I called you when you were small, slung close against my chest and laughing inside the soft cotton of your baby sling. As we explored new streets and territories, your head only a few degrees of latitude from mine. Compliant with gravity, a nod north to south could bow my head to feel the fineness of your baby hair touch my bristly cheek. Smell the tearless shampoo I'd massaged your soft scalp with as I washed you in the sink. Monstro mio, I'd say, delighted and clapping as you puzzled out your new legs. How to walk upright without an instruction manual or crawl exploratory circuits through the living room of our little apartment looking down on Office Parkway, mapping out the new contours of our life. Monstro mio, I'd exclaim when I got to hold you again on Sunday mornings. We had survived to the next one. It was important to say each time we had survived. Our half of the week would start, and my whole week would begin now that you were home. You shouted across the frontiers of language with your first word. Ata, you would yell, with your arms flung wide, stretched open to grab the whole new globe of the world. Before that, you would gurgle and coo or let out terrifying and possibly demonic growls. You'd follow immediately with your toothless baby smile, proud of your accomplishment as people nearby looked frightened over their shoulders to see if the apocalypse had come. Monstro mio, in my opera Italian, would always make us both laugh. Your sweet baby's giggle leading my boom as you run ahead of me through the one Texas snowstorm of your childhood. Bundled into the Minnesota snowsuit Cecily sent you, marking a track for me to follow through the undiscovered white. Later, when the sun bowed its head beneath the horizon, night-night, I turn out the light and read Where the Wild Things Are from memory, so I could tell you about Milo's strange island journey sailing quietly through the dark. Monstro mio, my monster, my whole heart. My life is laid out like a seafarer's ancient atlas marked with experience. And what else is life but filling in our maps, fleshing them with details, what we know, what we learn, what we love best. And here is my old sailor's map charting all of me, the awkward continents of my heart, seas and oceans, wide and unknown spaces, all of them marked in my handwritten ink everywhere, everywhere. Here there be my monster. I've got two more. To follow up with Kelly's reading, Kelly's partner, Wynn, who was a friend of mine for 25 years, died this year. Her ceremony was earlier this summer. I didn't get invited. I did get an email that said you didn't make the guest list, so had I made the guest list, these are the two poems I would have read for her. This one's called One for Win. I think your spirit animal might actually be a river, always in motion, flowing your farm girl's work ethic and your kindness from bluff to beach. A river that courses around the countrysides of Wisconsin, racing from the harvest of the orchard to pottery workshops, kiln, and clay. You make a cup and a bowl and a serving canoe, fill them each with something nourishing, and move on. The river races from children to brothers to friends, carrying to each one something that they need. The river races from schoolrooms to houses to cabins up north and makes each one a sanctuary. The river curves back to the home you've made, filled with your mother's art and everybody else's, books and beds and sleeping cats, and your poet who loves you like Rumi. The water's race course run for the day, and win, I think you won. And this is my last one. This is, I wrote this a little bit ago. I was thinking about the last day I ever saw Win. Me and my son Pharaoh and our host Jeff Skemp had gone out to Osceola to visit, and this is about that night. This is called Win Joins Us in the Living Room, but Win is dying. She comes down the stairs as thin as a playing card, laid face up, quietly. A queen, of course. A balsa queen in paper that knows a breeze is coming. Her hands reach left towards Kelly, towards us, to hold the hand-worn wooden smoothness of the banister. Her feet search slowly for each next step. Every additional stair, a weary overtime 8-hour shift, with eyes questioning the tedious clock every drawn-out moment. Retirement is not far away. Every eye can spy its cusp from where we are. She joins us and she sits, head wrapped in something pink and fuzzy to keep the warmth in, or the spirit at home for now. For the short while, she'll still think of this body as her home. Wrapped in bathrobe and blankets, she has both legs up on the sofa, but both feet planted in separate nations. Bedroom slippers straddling borders and restless now to move. She fades back and forth between conversations and kingdoms, her mouth open like she's about to make a proclamation from a balcony none of us can see from where we're sitting. Her mouth open like a door left ajar, knowing it will be stepped through soon. Her mouth open like the secret is about to emerge. Thank you, comrades.
Thanks, Chris. Those are beautiful. Chris Jones, everybody. Give it a round for Chris. Before I invite the next guest up, I'm going to just read a quick poem. Don't leave, Lynette. It's not that long. Stay put. The mic is power. This is called Prologue. The flood arrives, and so it must drain through the creek here. All our high grasses pressed flat to the wet earth, and the trees tremble, and some surrender as they fall. These long, heavy rains, a collapse. And the animals hide, tuck, and burrow, and no one is anywhere, and no one is counting pairs, and we play music on the radio like we are old. Its antenna bent, it crackles with lightning, it coughs a song. And we forget to drink water, and drink air instead, and feel oddly peaceful. And the willowy neighbor with the infectious laugh who cuts and lays sod for a living has gone missing, and no one knows yet. And how many others are caught blind in the current? And how many pieces of light can you stuff in your pockets as this rain falls? All right, enough about me. Our next poet is the lovely, talented, unflappable, now retired, but I'm sure she was an amazing teacher. But Lynette Rennie Grandel, everybody, please welcome her up.
Maybe retired. I'm not. Is this? Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, it's a close, kissable mic. Okay. Okay, a couple of poems here. Here's one that we've got sort of the Bosso regular crew out here. So I think all the Bosso crews heard this one, but it's short. It's called After the Storm. After the storm, the old gods kept changing, erratic, mercurial, blind tempers that toppled the trees of my forest. So I braided my hair with snake's teeth and pocketed one rancid fang. Somewhere, someone poured vodka into the ocean. Each burning day found a reason to plummet. Over a dinner of heartbreak and beetles, I plotted my course, built a boat, but never got in. At dock's end, the coracle bobbed in the water. Snakes swam and whispered into my hair. That is how I grew stubborn as a stone. That is how my Gorgon wings took root. So I think that a number of you, possibly most of you or all of you in this room, know that this past Saturday we lost an amazing local poet, Chris. Yes, Chris Sherlock, our very own Man in Black. So here's a poem he wrote. You didn't know? Okay. This is called When the God Departs. Sorry, I have to move this mic a little. There we go. Okay. When the God Departs. And when the God departs, the music plays on. And when the music stops, the wine still flows. And when the wine runs out, still I will kiss your lips. And when your eyes turn away and your lips are sealed, I will still love you. And when that fire has burnt itself out, I will still have the ashes of your memory. And when I have lost my facility to decode remembrance, into the present tense, when the last metaphor has sunk beneath the horizon, leaving the moon just a pale, cold rock in the sky, when every shadow's disappeared and dogs have no names, there will still be wind and sand to sting my eyes and scourge my flesh for its delusions. Christopher Schillock. So I have a couple of new poems. Let's see how they work or don't. This one's called Mother of Melody. Sometimes I wonder if the people we have lost, the dead who might reside in heaven, have ears to hear the music that the planet makes, an orchestra that leans into Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, sound traveling like liquid welling upward from a brimming bowl, notes melting through our bodies to beyond. How is it that all my mother tried to give me went unrecognized in time to tell her? At home, the sound of scales coursed up and down our piano keyboard, fingers sinking onto pieces of imagined ivory the size of what we used to call tablets. Now, when I hear the bubbling bassoon or pizzicato strings, a French horn's mordant sigh, I wonder how the old composer knew so much about my life. My mother played piano, sang, and I am rocked with unheard song, ghosts that echo through the ether still. My mother also had a cello, though I never saw her play it. So this one is also new. It's called Fifth Song of the Sylph. And I'll sing it first to a Finnish folk song, Kulevuti Utakuta. Basically, our village waited for the new moon. Our village waited. This is called the Fifth Song of the Sylph, which is kind of a woodland spirit. Oh, my fallen trees and shrouded stars, my panting does and small dead fawns, I hear the blue jay's warning shriek, and the wind that shakes the bare branches. Bury all of us with earth someday. Let grass grow over our memories. The solemn bear within me stirs, and I know that I must leave my home. Let the forest fill me one last time, and the ocean wash away the moon. Our horses treble beyond the hill. They call to carry us far away. Oh, my fallen trees and shrouded stars, my panting does and small dead fawns, I hear the blue jay's warning shriek and wind that shakes the bare branches. Bury all of us with earth someday. Let grass grow over our memories. The solemn bear within me stirs, and I know that I must leave my home. Let the forest fill me one last time, and the ocean wash away the moon. Our horses treble beyond the hill. They call to carry us far away. Okay, I've got one more. It's not as singable. Is that okay? Or, okay, okay. It's not too long. It's called Mother of Fire. And those of you who've heard me read before know I've got this character, the grandmother, who I think I'm becoming. Sometimes the grandmother sees an end of things, a dismay of orphan buttons, rusted scissors, all dreams of mending gone. She thinks of ghosts of lives that bridge two worlds, unacknowledged children buried in the cabin's corner, secrets like knotholes where the smoke gets in. She says truth is like the dream you keep on having, knocking, knocking, knocking on a steel apartment door while your beloved upstairs paces. This is when you find a shelter, a tabernacle, a hearth, a silent mountain with some heat, and the one who hammers metal on the mountain, who sends each spark that flashes to the sky. Thank you.
Lynette, Rennie, Grendel, everybody. Please give her another hand. Let's see, I have to check the list here. So, coming up next is this gentleman has been really great with, there's all sorts of things that go into keeping something going for a long period of time, and people kind of take on different roles over the years, and Dave has really taken on the role of trying to help organize and keep Bosso going. And we all really appreciate it. We all really appreciate it, and I think that he, he's like one of these people who just he's very good at organizing. He kind of knows all sorts of ins and outs of doing stage managing, etc. So he's really knowledgeable and really good at this. And he's also a really great musician, and he's going to come up with like a couple songs. So Dave Elderson, everybody.
We want to be sure to thank the house, starting with Claire on sound, who's making us all sound better than we really are. And then behind the bar, we got Sarah and Sam, so give it up and take good care of them because they're taking good care of us. And we want to thank 331 Club and Jason for the opportunity to do our monthly gigs here, since this is number 38 in a series of consecutive months that we've been hosting Bosso Poetry at 331 Club. So we're so grateful for that relationship and that opportunity, you all. I'll turn my music right side up so I can actually read it. All right, here we go. So I had a friend, grew up with him in Chicago. It didn't work out so well for him ultimately there. Never thought he'd leave, but he did leave. And he moved around to a couple of different places in search of himself, whatever. He was, he had his issues with the bottle and relationship problems, etc. And he wound up in Phoenix, Arizona, because he had some friends down there too. And he was one of the early adults to jump into the Teen Challenge program. And he had the record for Phoenix, Arizona, and that it took him 13 times to get through the 13 times to get through the Teen Challenge program before he finally cleared his last hurdle and got out with his sobriety intact. And he never really had an inclination to go back to Chicago. But after he graduated from Teen Challenge, he told me in a phone call, you know, maybe I'm going to go back to Chicago now. And about a week later, I heard from his sister that he'd passed away in his sleep. So he got his wish, because after his service in Phoenix, they flew him back to Chicago, and I drove down to meet his sisters for a simple graveside ceremony with just me, my brother, and 2 of his sisters, and I wrote this song on the way down and sang it. It's called Finally Come Home. All right, here we go. His last words of Chicago were, "It's time for me to leave. My future here's uncertain. For the past I grieve. I spilled beer and wine, lost love and time that I never will retrieve." His last words of Chicago were, "It's time for me to leave." And his last words of Dallas were, "It wasn't meant to be." Came to change my fortune. Bad luck is what I see. I'm still playing hard those same old cards in a losing game for me. His last words of Dallas were, "It wasn't meant to be." His last words of Phoenix were, "I think I'd like to go back to where the seasons change, home in Chicago. These desert skies, I realize, have made me long for snow." His last words of Phoenix were, "I think I'd like to go." And his last words of Chicago, carved upon a stone. Name and time upon the earth, granite words are shown. He found his peace and then the world released him to come home. His last words of Chicago, carved upon this stone. His last words of Chicago are, "I finally come home." All right. Well, I feel I've been blessed with a number of friends in my life, and here's a song where another one of my friends is no longer with me, but the beauty is every time we sing it, think about him. He was a huge baseball fan, and he even put up with the Twins when they weren't playing very well, and I'm sure he's making notes for the current season. No doubt about it, but it's the thing about baseball is hope springs eternal, right? That's the thing. You always have a chance for a new season when the old season is done. And this one is about a hero from Boston who never quite panned out. A really great college player, was given a nice contract, but ran afoul again, too much alcohol or whatever. But it's more about, this talks about a youthful fan of the fallen hero here. Let's put it that way. And it's called Pumpsy Green. Outside Boston's Fable ballpark, a youngster waits for an autograph from the batting champ from Nebraska who makes $7 million a year. And this scene brings back memories of the very same stadium in another time, with a 9-year-old redhead from Framingham and a bat to get signed. Not destined for the Hall of Fame, but a kid's hero just the same, playing God's own game in the sun. In pumps he can still see the ball, can still hit the wall, the green monster that lives in your dreams. And time will still remember those days, still recall the caps and the beers and the trains and the teams. But the greatest baseball player I'd ever seen is Pump C. Green. Perspiration still lingers in the hall leading down to the clubhouse door. The paint still wears the victory shared and the promise of champagne. November afternoons turn gray and Fenway is cold and damp, but there are ghosts who throw BP and hit fungos in the rain. Legends are made by the very fact that he played, but he doesn't play the game anymore. And Pumps, he can still see the ball, can still hit the wall, the green monster that lives in your dreams. And time will still remember those days, still recall the caps and the beers and the trains and the teams. The greatest baseball player I'd ever seen, the greatest baseball player I'd ever seen, the greatest baseball player is Pump C. Green. Pump C. Green. Pump C. Green. Pump C. Green. Is that good, Jeff? I could try it. I tried this one last time. I just sing it. It's what happens when you try to collect on your health insurance. And I actually had to write a song in order to get the woman on the other end of the line to pay attention to me. I could try it. Let me see if I find it. Now I have to find the silly thing. What did I do with it? Where did I put? Oh, there it is. Fortunately for me, mine was just a dental issue. It wasn't like a serious physical, problem where I had thousands of dollars. But I was on hold so long that I wrote a song, and I was so frustrated that they weren't going to cover this procedure that I specifically signed up with this health insurance. Oh, did I mention it's Delta Dental? It's called the Delta Dental Blues. So I got the health. Let's see. Find a good key for it. I got the health insurance blues, baby. My provider's doing me wrong. I got the health insurance blues, baby. My provider's doing me wrong. They're messing with my coverage, so I had to write this song. They said I wasn't covered I said, oh, yes, I am. They said it's pre-existing, but that was just a scam. They said you must wait 2 years, but 2 years come and gone. And then they put my calls on hold to try to break me down. I got the health insurance blues, baby. My provider's doing me wrong. I paid up all my premiums as soon as they would do. When they supposed to pay my bill, my provider won't come through. They sold me on a policy to cover what I need. Now I find the only thing I've covered is their greed. I've got the health insurance blues, baby. My provider's doing me wrong. They like to make me argue, burn my precious time. They jerk my chain until I fear I just might lose my mind. They like to play their dirty tricks, delay, deny, refuse. They've given me a nasty case of the Delta dental blues. I got the health insurance blues, baby. My provider's doing me. My provider's doing me. My provider's doing me wrong. All right. There you go. There we go. All right.
Sure. Of course. Dave Alderson, everybody. He's got the dental insurance blues. Yeah, I think he's got quite a few fake teeth in there. Dave used to be a boxer, so that was pretty rough back then. He was good. He was good, lightweight, quick on his feet, got a good jab. But if you guys got some of his, a few teeth got us. Anyway, so next up, we have the lovely Irene Alderson coming up. And Irene has, I kind of would second that sentiment that I had about Dave with Irene. She's been very involved in helping organize things and keep things sort of, like to have a regular show takes a lot of work, and to get the word out and things like that. So Irene has also been really helpful with all that. So we really appreciate it. Irene, thank you. And she's going to come up and read a couple poems. Irene Alderson.
Thank you. It's hard to follow all you brilliant people, including my brilliant husband, but I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best. These are a few poems inspired by animals, and we'll start with the lowliest first. This is a sonnet to the maggot. These maggots have a curious life, you know. I see them wriggling mid my compost bags. The flies, pale kids, sans legs and eyes are so admired and rot, they make a tough one gag. They thrive on dung, decaying meat and fruit. But give them cred, they live to mop things up. The sterile ones are used to clean grave wounds. In truth, there's room on earth for each odd pup. Next time I hose them from that crusty pail, I'll pause and know I shortened their brief span and stopped more flies from entering this veil where fate delivers swats with swift, strong hand. All told, a maggot's nobler when compared to men who cheat the poor of their fair share. Chipmunk. You guard your solitary den with teeth and pluck, seeds and nuts tucked away for a winter so dark and deep you can chew it. They're not awake or asleep, but in torpor. Heartbeat and breath ticked down like a wind-up toy unwinding, or readied as if you were an astronaut embarking on light years of travel, but without stars guiding light. Each of us follows our nature. You scamper down your path alone. Survival is digging a deep private pocket from which you'll emerge when shoots break thawing earth. We humans, on the other hand, need a clan. Builders and menders, farmers and hunters, teachers and shamans, poets and musicians. Why we dig holes to hide from others and ourselves, that is a mystery. Parting. Summer wanes, and the hummingbird on the feeder at dusk does not zip away, but sits for many breaths. It's as if she's weighed by the gravity of the flight ahead across continent and gulf, through dangers perverse and unknown, to a sweet, kind land. Goodbyes are often like that, heavy in anticipation, airborne when the moment arrives. So the three poems I just read are emblematic of a species, but this next poem is, my final one, is about a particular animal, a pet, who is no longer with us, called Ninth Life. It wasn't the pit bull that chased her for a lark, or the speeding car on a quiet street, or night prowls that put her in the path of coyotes. There was no drama, just time passing. Arthritic joints that put an end to jumping, cloudiness in one's sharp eyes, the erosion of kidneys that led down a dead-end alley. Few of us will have a grand death. We will yield to a terrier grip on the heart or a predator's stealthy ambush of cells, or the slow, insidious decay of mind. Still, we struggle to make one last gesture. I cradle my cat's head. The vet gives her an injection. She gazes at me, her lifetime in my palm. Thank you.
Another hand for Irene Alderson, everybody. Thanks, Irene. That was lovely. And next up, we have the visual artist racketeur. If you ever get a chance, you have to see Lynn's paintings as well. He's an amazing painter, and he was an art professor at the U for many years. And anyway, he's a multi-talented individual, and he's not having any of this. So I better get him up on this stage before I cause more problems, which, I mean, I've been known to cause problems before, but no. Please welcome Lynn Gray up to the stage.
Notes from a road atlas. You get a big black eye on a primitive face when you come back native, hopping on a Monday. Someone wearing long pants, someone rigging the flowers, hopping on a Monday. Seems like an illegal straight, like an incomplete place, hopping on a Monday. Make you move like a criminal's walk, make you talk busy, hopping on a Monday. But the former life hangs on when you come back native. I can tell you, well, I won't, but I will tell you. Well, I can't tell you exactly where it is, but I do have a favorite spot at Lago Dorado. It's like a laissez-faire, hands-off policy. No hopping on a Monday, and no carving out love initials. No trees bleeding sap. It's my rest stop down, my rest stop back. Someone rakes a desert there. Someone dropping corn at Lago Dorado, where there's a man wearing out a light hat with a white dog chewing on a garden hose. Together they tango, just to water down a plant, bringing out the best. At Lago Dorado, there's no paddling in a crisis, as if waiting for the end. At Lago Dorado, do you have anything else to say, Jeff? I'll call this hymn to the Virgin of Guadalupe. There's a woman out there, and she's a mighty big hit. There's a woman out there, and she's a wonder on every copy. She's in a world living inside her corona, and her eyes will never meet you. And she stands beside herself. There's a woman out there, and she's signing. Did you believe I really missed you? I've seen you not looking at me. Many times, the flash of your corona. She longs to believe. Okay, well, I've got my book in my hand. Maybe I'll just do one more. I am booked, yeah. Made in 1899. I keep my house ablaze, charcoal clean I do. And my plans are bolted, but I don't hesitate, still standing, aging. I live in doorways, and I send my money out. I'm a camper on wheels, though, and these outfitter eyes sleeping in buckets of sunsets. Over there in the corner standing, a foreign broom, and the plaster oak wood castle. Oh, this house is full of moon. Make no mistake, I listen to the limit, a double climb for sure. These song boots, and the attic is ringing full of faces, like a pincushion flashing angles.
like a pincushion flashing angles. Lynn Gray, everybody, please give him another round of applause. Next up, we have the. That's would be a good word. That's a good one. Insurmountable. Shout out any other words about Scott, please. Please, others. Sexy. Valuable. Sort of a nice. Invaluable. Scott Vetch, everybody, here to read some stories.
Okay. Well, all right. Okay. Okay. Well, this one is called. This was someone that was at Winona's house one afternoon I met. This one's called "Keep Your Stick on the Ice." Kai says he lost his eye in a high-stakes hockey game, got paid to throw it, swung his stick, and started the fight. In the end, there was a settlement, and now Kai lives in his dad's garage. He made it like a cabin out there, insulated the walls, built a loft, peas outside. He fills his time doing cocaine and acid mostly. Smokes a lot of dope in between. He golfs in the morning, catfishes at night. Chemicals don't frighten him. He doesn't worry about how many meals he eats out of the river in a week. LSD or PCBs, what's that matter to the guy with a glass eye? He thinks about settling down, especially if he got some girl prego, he says. His dad talks about moving into the garage himself. Lives in his basement right now and rents out the upstairs. If he lived in the garage, he could rent out the basement too. Kai's not sure where he'd go. It could be anywhere as long as there were fish. Said he's cutting back on the acid now, only doing it a couple times a month. Says he knows guys who do it daily, and they're pretty much all over the place. I told him a guy could get unmoored that way. He doesn't know what that means. I say to moor a boat, you tie it to a pier. Otherwise, it's adrift. It's unmoored. Kai likes that idea. Says he never thought of it before. Where's Kai now? It's called Frida Sums It Up. Great Uncle Lester never married. I guess you could call Frida the love of his life. She lived in Essig, a German town on the prairie. Lester was from Lake Hanska, a 2-bar town 12 miles south where everyone came from Trondheim. In its day, that kind of cultural miscegenation was a potent force. Brown brick, beer, and sauerkraut Catholicism was exciting if you were a Lutheran used to drinking watered-down church basement coffee. I never knew about Frida. Lester came alone on holidays, never mentioned a lady friend. Mom said back when she was a kid, Lester was a real looker. When he went out dancing, it was quite a production. She remembered her grandmother heating up water on the cook stove for his Saturday night bath, and Lester parting his black hair in the mirror over the kitchen sink. I never knew him as anything but an owly old bachelor farmer in stripy overalls with a feed cap on his head and a black suit coat over that if somebody was getting baptized. He never had running water, never took down that calendar from 1941, and died addled at 87. There weren't many people at the funeral, but when Frida appeared in the back of the chapel, everyone turned to look. The director announced the viewing was over and asked the mourners to find their seats. The organist was playing the first hymn, but Frida was still in back, so my uncle took her by the arm. "They're about to close the lid on Les," he told her. "You want to have a last look?" "No," Frida replied, shaking her head. "I had a good look." This isn't quite as exciting as it used to be now that everything's legal. It's just become such a boring world to be an outlaw. I was an outlaw once. It's called Loaves and Fishes. It was just me and Lutz. Everyone else was off on holiday. Friday night, the two of us, broke, without prospects, wandering that big empty house. No wine, no beer, no smoke. As dusk settled and possibilities were exhausted, we found ourselves in his room, in the corner with the sofa and the stereo. On his tape deck, we listened to bootlegs of the Grateful Dead. And other San Francisco guilty pleasures, and thus inspired, employed pocket knives and wire to scrape and collect the accumulated tar from his collection of pipes and bongs. Purpose renewed, we steeped a pot of tea and torched up the acrid tar. Passing it between us, we were soon laughing and telling stories. The sofa we sat on and the cluttered coffee table below had been the site of many rolled joints. Spillage was inevitable, green buds snapping between the fingertips, stems discarded, crumbled chunks of greenish gold hashish escaping careful scrutiny. Sensing salvation, we speculated that the carpet beneath our feet could be a potential gold mine of THC. We pushed the coffee table aside. On hands and knees, we combed the fibers for lost nuggets and vegetable matter. Stoned and ecstatic, our bowl was filled again and again. In our exuberance, we overlooked one truth. This was a commune with loose focus and lack of purpose. We raised chickens and ducks. 2 goats were staked out daily to graze. The whole menagerie wandered at will. Their droppings, green and fibrous, filled the treads of shoes, and once dry, fell out again. A phenomenon appeared. I first noticed picking raspberries. Bucket in hand, facing a tangle of canes, I chose ripe berries. That's easy. Just pick the ripe ones. But as ripe berries filled the bucket, less ripe berries on the vine began looking ripe, and suddenly the entire perception of ripe was lost. The longer we picked, the greater quantities of hashish we found. Holding the crumbled chunks in my hand, I could no longer separate the weed from the chaff. Infused with the Spirit, we smoked, and it was a miracle. Here's this one short one here. I will be done. Okay. All right. Kelly, I think Kelly was involved in this one. Once upon a time, I was a co-editor of a poetry zine who believed poetry should be better than the cover letter it was wrapped in. Charles Bukowski sent us 2 short poems, no cover letter. We felt a validation, but read them and realized they were throw-offs. I argued to reject them. The others countered, believing his name was worth it. We had standards, I said. Publications got a rest on merit. This wasn't business as usual. It was a revolution. I gave up rock and roll for this shit. I owed my people, wanted to make poetry more than a collective groan. We sent them back. Slipped a rejection letter into his self-addressed stamped envelope, dropped it in a mailbox, and kept on driving down that high road. Decades later, still on that stupid road. I don't even have his SASE to sell on eBay. What? I had it in my hand. We blew it. That could have been saved everything. That would have been all we needed, Kelly. Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much.
The irrefutable Scott Vetch, everyone. So we're going to try a little experiment here for our last performer. Gary is going to try to get set up. He has a couple tracks that he wants to play as he reads a couple poems. And we'll see if we can get this set up properly, and then that will be the night for us. Thanks, Claire. Give it up for the dutiful and patient Claire, everyone, please. She's been awesome tonight. Get it booted up there. It should be booted up and ready to go. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to introduce it.
No, just a second. Okay. Hang on. Let her make sure that she can get. We want to get her to be at the edge.
Second, if there's time for a second one, that would be that one.
Okay.
Oh, whoops.
That's all right. Just go to
This song is a scathing critique of industrial capitalism. We'll see if it happens. Robin Hood's spirit. He's coming back. Gonna bring down the 1%. Gonna lay him out flat. System. Rolls and stalls. Comes alive. Class. Starts to thrive. Radical hackers. Unite the fight. Okay. Thanks. So, I think I need a little help on this second one. I just wanted to get back to the where I can. Okay, now subliminal splash. Nope. Back.
That's okay. You're doing great.
Yep. Subliminal splashings. Yep. There we go. Okay. Can they play it a little? Ill-tempered. Ill-tempered illusions. Semi-psychotic.
Psychotic delusions.
Delusions.
Subliminal.
Slashings.
Psychotic. Thrashings. Fully distorted. Distorted.
Solutions.
Tripped out.
Yeah, way tripped out. No doubt.
Feel
The mystic waves. Feel 'em.
Feel the mystic
Mystic waves. Feel the mystic waves. Feel them crashing.
crashing. Some kind of tripped out
thrashing.
Thrashings. Psychotic
delusions.
Ill-tempered illusions. Subliminal splashing.
Psychotic
Institutions. Fully distorted solutions.
fully tripped out.
Unforgiven. The mystic waves. Mystic waves are crashing. The mystic waves. Are crashing. It's a spirit. Utopia. It moves for the spirits. Their utopia. Psychotic. Illusions. Mystical. Splashing. Distorted solutions. Tripped out. To a thrashing.
Okay. Well, thank you. That was a musical interpretation of a bad acid trip there. Not that I've ever experimented with psychedelics, but you know, as a meager attempt at an expression of an acid trip that didn't go so well. That's it, and thanks to Jeff for helping me out here.
What's your last name again? Gary Gronquist, everybody. Gronquist. You can hear some of his stuff online, I believe, right? Gary? Under what name? if you Google his name, you'll find some of these tracks. YouTube. So anybody wants to listen to Gary, you can find him on there. So thanks everybody. That's wrapping it up. Thanks for everybody. Thanks for the crew, and we really appreciate it. It was a great night. Thank you. Be safe.